Trees? Yes, trees. Daniel Bloodworth has taken what started as a joke suggestion to formulate this week's personal top 5. Maybe it's because he misses climbing them, or perhaps it's because he could be mistaken for one, but in any case, to make his list, each of these arboreal wonders had to be distinct. As useful as it is to level forests in Minecraft, or as wonderful as it might be to shake each and every tree in your Animal Crossing town, daily, for weeks, help me, I can't stop. As great as these woodland moments might be, this list is for those singular trees that rise above the surrounding canopy. In game after game, Kirby comes up against this apple-dropping opponent, and we still can't understand why. Maybe a woodpecker started poking him too early in the morning, or he got a beetle in his barky breeches. He looks pleasant enough, so we can only assume that these blowhard tantrums are only temporary. Wispy stands as a familiar constant, warming players up with a target that can't really be missed, and at this point, it would seem wrong to have a Kirby game without him. Knock on wood. While it's visible from as far away as the Firelink Shrine, the Great Hollow is home to one of those wonderfully unexpected moments of discovery. Those brave enough to muck through Blighttown's flies and poisonous bogs to see what lies in far-off corners find themselves suddenly inside a massive tree, spiraling downwards in a maze of crisscrossing branches, deadly basilisks, mushroom men, and precariously placed treasures. There's no plot point leading you to its base, just an insatiable curiosity to see how deep it goes. A lot of games feature legendary world trees, often with spiritual significance. Tales of Symphonia, Final Fantasy IX, Dragon Quest IX, and many more. Of these, the clearest example is the Tree of Mana from Square Enix's long-running series of RPGs, stretching back to Final Fantasy Adventure and Secret of Mana. Like its contemporaries, the Mana Tree is a source of life and balance in the world, but it's also closely tied to a tribe of people ordained to protect it. And if they should fail, one of them will give up their former life and transform into a new Tree of Mana for future generations.
I got mutated. Sure wasn't born this ugly.
Once an ordinary human, exposure to the forced evolutionary virus caused Harold to mutate and sprout a tree from his head, which he named Bob, of course.
Just kidding. His name's Bob.
By the time we meet Harold and Bob in Fallout 3, he's more tree than man, and not only has he laid down roots, but his seedlings have grown into an entire grove. Surrounded and protected by a group of eccentric worshippers, Harold's spreading green oasis brings hope that the wasteland will one day be restored. His cranky personality brings some much-needed comic relief.
Sometimes they just go nuts, start running around.
For all the strengths of the previous entries, the Great Deku Tree seems to combine many of their qualities. He has a kind face. He brings life to the forest around him. He's surrounded by a tribe of quirky helpers, and in Ocarina of Time, there's a creepy dungeon inside him that serves as your first real challenge. There's a sense of grandeur and wisdom in his ancient trunk, and he will be fondly remembered for years to come.